This next Wednesday, the Mayor of London will be attending a youth interfaith iftar organised by the Naz Legacy Foundation. Some of the guests in attendance will be the Chief Rabbi, Rabbi Ephraim Mervis, the Bishop of London, Sarah Mullally, and His Eminence Cardinal Vincent Nichols, who's the Archbishop of Westminster. Well, joining me to tell us more is Harris Bukhari, who's the founder of the Naz Legacy. Good morning.
Good morning, Jumoke.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. What exactly is the Naz Legacy Foundation?
Well, Naz Legacy Foundation was set up roughly around about 7 years ago after my late father, who was the first Muslim head teacher in the UK, to continue his work in regards to excellence in education, but also positive integration.
And tell us a bit about this youth interfaith iftar.
So every year we hold an iftar where we bring roughly around about 150 young people together, representing each one of our kind of boroughs in London, representing each faith. And these are young people that would normally not meet each other from their different backgrounds or their different faiths. They'll come together. We kind of create a safe space for them to be able to talk to each other, talk about some of the issues that they think are important to bring not just youth communities, but kind of different communities, faith and non-faith communities together in London on a common purpose to improve their communities. And it gives them a chance to have that ability to speak to each other, talk about different forms of social action they can get involved with. A lot of the young people afterwards have become friends for the first time and get involved in social action in their own areas. They then present some of the ideas that they come up with during these sessions to some of the fantastic people that attend, including, as you mentioned, the Bishop of London or Cardinal Nichols or my late father's former pupil, Siddiq Khan. And during that process of the evening, they'll open their fast. So when it's the time for some of them to be fasting, some of them won't be fasting, but together in solidarity, they'll open their fast together and create that kind of form of solidarity over that period of time.
And the whole notion of interfaith is a growing one. I mean, it's been in existence for many years, but it now seems to be one of the key elements that is important not only to older generations, but also to younger people to engage with each other's faith so that they understand what each other believes in.
Absolutely right. And I think, look, sometimes I think we get caught up with the word interfaith too much. It's really a forum. I think society is always stronger when different people from different backgrounds can sit down, understand each other, but also work out how to improve society around us. And that's people of faith and also people without a faith as well. And I think for faith communities or religious communities themselves, there's always a great way, and I think we've heard it slightly earlier on in your show today, that people from different faiths can learn about each other's spirituality. As many times I've enhance my practice in my faith, sitting down, listening to someone's personal worship from the Christian faith or the Jewish faith or the Hindu faith, and you can learn the different aspects of what they understand spirituality to be, and it enhances your personal worship as well.
Tell us a bit about your father. He sounds like a very special man.
My father came here in the kind of the late 50s, early 60s. His father was a head teacher, so naturally teaching was something he went into. Became the first Muslim head teacher, first Muslim deputy head teacher in a school called Hagston. Then eventually became the first Muslim head teacher in Ernest Bevin College, as some of your listeners might be aware of, in Tooting. And he was at a time when a lot of, I mean, this is when about 1984, so a lot of people get quite shocked, but a lot of senior positions in this country there weren't any figures from an ethnic minority background. So when my father became a head teacher, for people like Siddiq Khan, whose father, a lot of our listeners will know, he was a bus driver, this was the first time he saw an ethnic minority in a position of power. Right. And Siddiq's been very kind since he won the mayoralty. He talks about the fact that my father, not just for him, but for many young people growing up in London at that time and across the country, to see a senior position held by an ethnic minority was a way to inspire them to understand that they could also kind of break down that glass ceiling.
And this youth iftar you had to apply, I understand, to actually be part of it, so that there's no availability. People can't just turn up.
No, I'm really sorry. I mean, our focus, which is very different, as you're probably aware, a lot of these senior dignitaries like Chief Rabbi and Cardinal Nichols, and obviously people like Bishop of London and the City Khan, a lot of big kind of senior people in London will tend to meet these people on a regular basis. What they don't tend to meet are young Londoners. So the focus of this has really been on young Londoners who never would get an opportunity to do this. And it's a form of inspiring them, to motivate them, but also to make sure we explain to young people in London that they are special. They are the fabric and the future of our city. So we have an open application process. We get about at least 1,000 young Londoners that will apply. And then what we do is, because we want a geographical representation, we make sure each borough of London is covered. We want to make sure each faith is covered, as well as young people who don't practice a faith as well. And to get that nice kind of mix and balance of different people from different backgrounds from London that would never normally meet. So I'm afraid, no, there isn't any spaces left this year, but obviously next year there's an opportunity to apply again.
Thank you ever so much for joining us, Harris, and we wish you well with that event. We've just been talking about the Youth Interfaith Iftar, which has been organised by, or will be organised by, the NAS Legacy Foundation, which takes place next Wednesday, where they'll have a whole load of dignitaries, including the Mayor of London, sitting down, breaking fast with young people from the religious spectrums. It sounds very interesting indeed.